Does anybody know what a scale drawing is? What? Yep. Very good. You kind of worked about this last year a little bit. I think with Mr. Brunsma, I believe. Um, so like anytime you want to build something, they have a blueprint. And a blueprint tells like the person who's building it exactly what needs to be done. I'm sure he does have a lot of blueprints. Anybody who does any kind of construction has a blueprint. Anytime you want to build a house, a shed, anything, there's some kind of blueprint. And that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. Also, if you've ever played with anything little, like little tractors, little wagons, anything like that, you know what I'm talking about? Okay, so those also are like a scale model. Because what happens is that big tractor is shrunk down to a size that you can play with. Okay, I don't know, they do it with a scale model. What they say is, so like like on those tractors. Yep. So yep. For real. So what happens is, if you ever look on like the packaging that stuff comes in, it's always like 1/64th. If you've ever seen that before, and that's the scale it is. So what it means something like this. So for every like 1 inch on that little tractor, it's really 64 inches on the big one. Or for every 1 centimeter on that little tractor, it's really 64 inches on that big one. So that's what it really means. It's actually shrunk down basically 64 times so you can play with it. That's really, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Okay? So, that's what we're going to talk about today. I have two vocabulary words for you, and one is scale drawing and one is scale. It's not the scale you step on to find your weight. This is something different. So a scale drawing is like that blueprint, and the scale is like that 1/64 that we talked about, or like Dylan said, for every like 1 foot, it's 5 inches or something like that. Okay, that would be like your scale. So, everybody ready? Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about is scale factor. Remember last year, you guys did stuff like this? Maybe you've done it already in 8th grade this year. This is what I'm talking about. This is like what a scale is right here. 1 inch is 250 miles. 1 inch is 20 miles. That's what a scale is. Okay, so what? You're not even done yet. We're not going to do it on the map. We're going to figure it out mathematically is what we're going to do. Okay? So, first thing we're going to talk about is the scale factor. So make sure you write down how to find a scale factor in your notebook because you're going to want to know this. Okay, so this is where my other class kind of got confused. So I'll see if I can explain it a little slower than I did the last time. I think it's because I don't understand. Maybe I don't explain it very well. I know. You're lucky. You're lucky because I always get a practice lesson for you guys. So if I know what they're struggling on, I try to make it so it's easier for you guys. So I'm kind of lucky. What's that? I'm going to show, oh, this one? I'll do that in a little bit. Okay? I'm going to show you two different ways to find a scale factor. Okay? It's up to you how you want to do it. I don't really care. Because no matter what way we do it, it's going to technically be the same answer, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. Okay? So, here's the deal. When you're giving something 1 inch equals 3 feet, that's the first way you can do it. You can actually leave it as, this is number 1, 1 inch equals 3 feet. And the reason I can do that with this one is because see how it's already broken down to 1? One side is already 1. I can leave it like that. Okay? The next way I can do it, and I'll show you one that's not always already broken down to 1. I'll show you that in a second. The second way I can do it is I can change it so they're same units. So how would I change this to be inches? Times by 12, so it would be 36, right? So technically, I could also have this. That's also okay. Do you see how they're technically the same thing? They are the same thing, only I have this one in feet and that in inches. Okay? I can write it like this too. Oh, sorry. I can write it like this. I can write it like that. That's if they're, I can only write it like that though if they're in the same unit. Because if I write it like this, do I really know what those things mean? Like, it's not telling me that's inches and feet. I can only write it like this though if it's in the same units. Okay? And a lot of times, like I said, that 1 to 64 with your little tractors and trucks, that's how you'll see it on like the packaging. Okay? So let's go to this one. Let's go to this one. Now this one is not in the same units, and it's not broken down to 1. So there's a few different ways you can do this one. Okay? You can do it like this. This is the first way. Way number 1. You can actually write it into a proportion, okay, and set it equal to 1 centimeter. And if you solve, then you're going to come up with how many meters it is, okay? So see how that's way the same as number 1? You're going to have centimeters and you're going to have meters. That's like way number 1. I can set it equal to a proportion, okay? Yep, and if I do that, 5 times 1 is 5 divided by 10. Guess what? It'd be 1 centimeter equals 0.5 meters, okay? Now let me show you another way. Yes, ma'am? Yep, cross multiply. Yep, now let me show you way number 2. Okay, let's say I'm going to change them to be the same units of measure. So I'm probably change meters to centimeters, right? So how many meters, centimeters are in a meter? 100? Just 100. So it would be 10 centimeters equals 500 centimeters, correct? Okay, but I still need to reduce that because I want what 1 centimeter is, right? So it would be 1 centimeter to 50 centimeters. Or you can write it like this. Okay, now tell me why these two things are the same. Hunter. Okay, but how come I can say that these two are the same answer? All right, Carver, I'll let you handle it. This is half a meter, because how many centimeters are in 1 meter? 100. And if I have half a meter, how many centimeters is that? Same thing. Either way, I don't care, Maddie. I don't care either way. So most of the time, it's going to be easier probably just to leave it like this. You don't got to go through any extra work. Okay, a lot of times it's easier to do it that way. If, though, you already have the same units, then this would be the way to go. Okay? So, like, I know in your book there's one that looks like this. Like, it's 4 centimeters to 6 centimeters. Well, how would you figure out what 1 centimeter would be? It'd be like 1, 2, is it like 1 point something? You divide them and see what then your other side would be. Does that make sense? Or, if that doesn't make sense, set up for proportion, and then figure out what your bottom one would be. Okay? Always set it equal to 1. Okay? Always make that top one 1, and then you can figure out what your other one would be. That's what I did up here. That's what you can do over there. Okay? Yeah, Rain. You want to try another one? Should we do another one? No, I'm not done yet. Let's do another. Let's do 5 inches equals 10 feet. Okay? So, let's say I'm just going to keep it in the same whatchamacallits, units of measure. I'm going to create a proportion and set it equal to 1 inch and find out what my x is. So it'll be 10 divided by 5, so it'll be 2 feet, right? Okay. Then you can write your answer like that. That's fine, 10 to 2. Yep, you can write it like this. Let's say you do it the other way, and you change this to inches. That would be 120 inches, right? 5 inches to 120, and if I reduce them to figure out what 1 inch is, guess what? And are these two things the same? 1 inch to 2 feet and 1 inch to 24 inches? They're the same. So I don't care which way you want to do it. If you would rather keep it like this, keep it like that. Okay, that's probably the easiest way. Because sometimes you're going to get into huge feet and all that good stuff, and if you just want to deal with it like this would be your easiest way to go. Okay? Questions on that? Are we good? Wow. Maybe I went slower this time. I don't know. All right, so I don't know. Okay, so this is my second part of it. This is if you're given a blueprint, and you have to figure out some measurements either on your blueprint or on the actual thing that they're going to make or to build or whatever. So here's an example. A set of landscape plans shows a flower bed that is 6.5 inches wide. So that's what the plan shows. So that's on my blueprint. The scale on the plans is 1 inch equals 4 feet. Find the actual width of the flower bed. So here's the deal. What's the matter? Well, can we set it up in a proportion? Okay, so how would you set it up? Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. Every single problem is going to have some kind of scale in it. You're always going to have at least one side done for you already. Okay? And then the reason why I have these here is because on my scale, or on my blueprint, it's 1 inch, but it's actually, if I would build it, it's actually 4 feet. Okay, that's why I have scale over actual. Maddie, keep going. Okay, because that's on my blueprint, right? And that's across from inches over x. X is, because it's asked me the actual width, and look at, if it's across, okay, then you multiply, do your cross products like you did. Yeah, you really are just multiplying. Yep, so 26. So on my blueprint, if it's 6.5 inches on my blueprint, if I would actually build it, it's going to be 26 feet. Okay, so if you, yeah. No, because I took this times this, right? Divided by 1. Well, divided by 1 is like doing nothing. So I don't have to divide anything by 4. It is, just like yesterday. That's how we did yesterday. Yep. Sure. Or it's just going to ask you, what's the actual width? Well, the actual width is just this then. Just to see what it asks you. Okay. The biggest thing, number 1, you're always going to have one side set up for you. It's going to automatically give you a scale. It has to give you a scale. Okay? Then your other side, if you're not sure where to put it, look at the label. If this says 6.5 inches, where does it have to go across from? Look at the label. Yeah. It'll tell you. For the answer? See what you're across from? Okay, see what you're across from? That's what it's going to be. Good job, Kinsey. Good question. I have a few more things to do for you today, okay? And let's do this one. I have 2 more things I want to show you. I want to do this one with you, and then we'll do something else. So an architect is drawing plans for a new office building. The architect actually wants the lobby to be 32 feet long. The scale on his drawing is 1/4 inch is 5 feet. How long should the lobby be in the drawing? So first, you're going to set it up. So that means for every inch, it's like 20 feet. That's crazy. So on my other side, what do I know about my other side? Okay, want it to actually be 32 feet long, so what's it going to go across from? That 5, yep. And so I'm looking for, on my blueprint, if I was going to draw it, I want to know how long it would be. Comes out to a decimal. You ruined it for everybody.
Sorry,
What if I said you just wanted to beat Carver?
I'm turning you to Carver now.
Please don't. Please.
There's already enough.
Carver, everybody's picking on you.
Wrong, guys.
You're not wrong. 1.6.
See, some people did it here.
Yeah.
I don't know how you deserve it.
Yeah.
1.6.
What? Okay, thanks. So yes, Maddie's right. 1.6, is it inches? Inches. That's what it should be on that blueprint then. It should be 1.6 inches long. Last thing I want to show you is this. Okay. Okay, so what's going to happen? I'm going to take cross products. Okay. Last thing. They're going to give you a picture of a house or a few rooms. Actually, it's a house. I know it is in your book. And they're going to give you some dimensions. What they want you to do is they want you to find what they would actually be if I would build this. Okay? So there's already a scale. It's up there. 1 inch is 10 feet, right? Okay. So when you have a question like this, and it asks you to find dimensions, you're going to have 2 answers. Okay? So for example, room 1, if this is 1.5 inches, so if you want to set up, some of you could do this in your head, is equal to 1.5. Time out! Shh. I didn't even ask for that. Okay? So now I would do my cross products because this is what it is on the blueprint. I'm looking for what it would actually be. Well, I know this times this is 15 divided by 1. Guess what? This would be 15 feet. I'm not done yet because I have 2 answers, right? So for room 1, and I would do this, 1 inch, 10 feet equals 0.5 inch. Well, this is going to be 5 feet. So do I multiply them together? Actually, Carver, I would not because it's not asking me the area. It's asking me my dimensions. My dimensions of this would be 15 feet by 5 feet. That's all I want. It's right here. It's my scale factor. I have it up here. It's just really small. Okay? So like room 2, room 2, I know this is going to be 1 inch over 10 feet equals 2.5 inches over x. Multiply, I know this is going to be 25 feet. Oops. And I know if that, do I know this side already? Okay. So my answer to room 2 would be 25 by 15. Okay. Yep. But it's not always going to be that easy. Here's the thing. Sometimes in your homework it's going to have it in fraction form. I don't care if you change it to decimal form. Okay, if that's easier for you. Another thing it's going to do is it's going to actually give you what some of these rooms are, and it's going to want you to find it if it was on the blueprint. So if that was the case, let's say this is actually 75 feet, and I want to know what it is on the blueprint, what would I do on this side then? It'd be 75 feet over x, because of that x, remember, would be what it'd be on the blueprint. Okay? Follow what's going on with your labels. That's why it's so important. Some of them you're going to have 2 answers, so make sure you're paying attention to that, because I'm going to count them wrong if you don't have 2. Okay? Questions for me? Well, it depends what it asks you. If my question was, what are the dimensions for room 1? You would tell me, yep, I'd have 4.